Hey, family. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's Queenie Brown. Uh-oh, my mic is muted. Can y'all hear me okay? Uh-oh, hold on. It's saying I'm muted. Okay. Thank y'all so much for joining me. Happy Juneteenth. There once was a time and place where black wealth was commonplace. And I want us to get back there. And I know you all want to get back there too. So today, me and the Kingsmen are going to talk about Juneteenth, freedom, and your wealth. I want to bring on the show Mr. Donovan Yarbo and Mr. Dwayne Taylor. Thank you guys for joining us today. Happy Juneteenth to the both of you.
Happy Juneteenth. Hello, family.
Yes,
Happy
yes.
Happy Juneteenth. Hello, family. Hopefully, we can make this a yearly tradition that goes past our emotions and keeps on for a tradition and a legacy for our children's children. Let's go.
I love it. I love it. That's right. Well, today we celebrate freedom, or so we thought.
Right.
Everything that's in the news and everything that's reflecting in many of our lives show us that freedom is still an ideal. It's not something that everyday people are actually experiencing. And so what we know for sure is that the steps to freedom looks like wealth generation. It looks like wealth creation. It looks like legacy building. And in order to have those things, hey, Rhonda, happy Juneteenth to you. Thanks for joining us. In order to have those things, you have got to begin to invest in yourself and not in the system that is perpetually keeping all of us broke. So today we wanted to talk about your wealth and so gentlemen, where do you want to get started?
Over to you, sir.
Okay, well, a place I wanted to start was something that I looked up, just a little while ago before we got started because I like to, I don't want to come into these sessions too prepared and over prepared. I like to have a live dialogue, something that's rich in now, not in my preparation, and then I give you a whole prepared statement and it sounds like a speech and not from the heart.
Right.
Just looking up the word freedom. Um, Freedom is defined as the power or right to act, speak, or think as one wants without hindrance or restraint. And you got to think in today's world, most of us don't have that. We don't have the right to speak or act without hindrance or restraint. Why? Because we're tied to corporate America. And anything that you say can and will be used by HR to fire your tail. Oh, you see how I weave that in there? So not that we want to be rude and inconsiderate of others, but there are certain things that we are keeping back, that we are holding back for fear of the judgment that could come. And being fired from your job takes away the ability for you to provide for your family. Well, that's why we want to get to financial freedom where you're not relying on somebody else per se that has the power. Let me say that your power isn't in someone else's hand. You put the power back in your hands, because to say not to rely on someone is impossible. No man is an island to himself. No man or woman is an island unto themselves. No one can build or create wealth or build a legacy of and by themselves. It is mathematically impossible. One plus zero, or one times zero equals zero. Anything times zero equals zero. So that's not going to work. And then I looked up just to throw out some figures. I said, let me go back to 2016, 4 years ago, when this cycle started with, the current regime that's in place. Let's see where we were at coming out of the previous regime. So in 2016, the wealth gap for black families and white, I know there's more culture
Ethnicity.
here in America than just black and white. But the average net worth for a typical white family was $171,000, while the average black family was 10% of that at 17,150.
Say
Now,
that
why is
again.
that?
Wait. Say that again.
The average white family's wealth measured in 2016 was about $171 of net worth, while the average black family was 17,150, roughly right at 10%.
Wow. Hey,
You
Tanya.
know,
Wow.
we were the tithe of the wealth in America. So that wealth gap, you're looking at 90% wealth gap, and that's on average. Yeah, a lot of us have done better than normal, and that's taken into account. Wow, wow, wow. That's taken into account all of our entertainers, all of our athletes that have amassed, that make millions of dollars on these contracts for anywhere from 2 to 12 years, depending on the longevity in their career. And when you take all of that, so that tells you right now that there are the disparity of millions of people living below the poverty line, living below minimum wage, for that average to come all the way down to $17,150.
Wow.
So if we're going to talk about Juneteenth and freedom and celebrate freedom, well, Juneteenth celebrates the physical emancipation of our bodies from the plantation. Now we have to emancipate ourselves mentally, socially, and financially, where we're not dependent on another group. It's okay to interact, intermingle, and to be one with, but we don't want to be dependent upon or allow, and this is a word that I hate, combined together, systematic racism. Well, the word racism already implies a system. So we don't have to further try to bring in conjecture and more words to make it sound different. No, racism is a system. It's a system that where one class of people can oppress another one in many different forms. But the one way that I know to supersede that and have it not affect you and your lineage is to elevate and to become truly free. And that's financially free, where your wealth is not tied to any system, your wealth is not tied to any bondage, or anybody has the power to turn off your wealth, to turn off your cash flow, to turn off the thing that you need to operate in this world. I could go on right now, but I think this is a great jumping off point to pass it off to my business partner, friend, and brother, Mr. Taylor. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, sir. What's going on, Miss Queenie?
Man.
Family. It's always a pleasure. One word, two words popped out when you said them. Corporate America. When most people hear corporate America, they think the institution of work. Now I understand corporate America to be the corporation of America, owned by a banking cartel. That's the true corporate America that we are enslaved to, that we're
Wow.
indebted to. The corporation of work is a part of their bigger system, that we're the cog in that wheel. So in order for us to get out of the enslavement of the corporation of America, you have to own your time and your money so that you have the ability to do those things that you truly want to be, do, and have. Now, as long as you have a corporate position in the corporation of America, you will always be in bondage. Now, that doesn't mean that some of us aren't designed to play a part in that system, because your gifting may play that part, right? Your gifting may play in that position. But I truly believe that you should always have something on the back end running that's always creating a cash flow of currency for you. Why? Because if that corporate job ever dismisses you or they go under, you're not panicking. You're not worried. Why? Because you've taken the time to labor and put effort into your own value, into your own value, into your own value, and out of your own value came currency that supports you. See, the problem is we don't believe in our own value. We trust other people's value before we trust our own value. And when we get to the place where we appreciate our value and what we can truly give and offer, it becomes an easy task to be able to connect to a system, to create another system. That video I shared with y'all, it talks about how when you want to create currency to come to you, listen to people's conversation and find out, what do they don't like? What irks them? What do they think could be better? Listen for the problem, and then ask your creativity, ask your creator to give you the solution to the problem, and now you're creating cash flow. Because my goal and mission in life is to teach people to never labor for currency ever again. It's not worth it. It is not worth it. It's not worth you trading your life and your time for currency. Why? Because it's created on a printing press. That there's no value to it. So you want to labor and create something, a system or a machine that's going to create it for you. When you do that, now you become free. Now you have your freedom. And let's get it straight. When we talk about money, the first thing that goes to most people's head is, I don't want to make millions. I just want enough for me. First, that's the most selfish thing you can say. Secondly, when we talk about freedom, we're not talking about millions. How much money do you need every month to pay all your bills automatically and then have some left over so you can go do what you want to do? That's what we're talking about when it comes to freedom. Do you need $4,000 a month? Okay, let's conjure up some type of creativity that already dwells on the inside of you that can pay you $4,000 a month without you having to trade your life for it. Now you can go do the things you really want to do. What are your dreams? What are your goals? What are your visions? What are your passions? What would you like to be doing with your time other than working a job? The only reason you pick a career is because you look for a career that pays you the highest amount of money. If it's about money and it's not about a career, then let's find something that's going to help you make money and bump the career. You wasting time, energy, and money. Let's get to the root and find a way that you can make money. Because if it's really about money and it's not about the career, because it's not about the career for everybody. Sometimes it's about truly the money, because the money brings the freedom. But you got to be free in your mind first before you free in your pocket. Over to you.
Mm. Wow, you hit a whole lot right there when you said invest in your value. That kind of hit me because we don't even see ourselves as valuable enough, and we're programmed to be consumers. So our value is in the stuff. Our value is in the car, in the shoes, in the the wardrobe, in being able to travel and doing all those things. Which those things create the lifestyle that you want. That's why you work. But when you think about building wealth, that comes with it. It's like the water coming with the wet. you know.
Mhm.
Hey Tanya. Yeah, she said thanks for that. It's you have to start thinking in terms of legacy and in terms of how am I spending my time? Because if you're spending 40 to 60 hours a week, think about how much you could create in that time. Think about how many lives you could impact in that time. Think about how many problems you could solve in that time. And then when you really think about wealth creation as opposed to working for a dollar, you're limited by the amount of time you have. That's as much money as you can make is how much they feel you're worth. And who wants to be limited by somebody else's perception of your value? How about you decide what you're worth and go start solving some problems? You
Yes,
know? Gosh, so thank you for that, Dwayne. Thank you for that.
yes, man.
Mm.
I mean, Mr. Taylor, I could sit here and just kind of bounce back and forth with you all day, especially like you said, Queenie, investing in our value. And I love the two words you use. One is investing, one is value. Value is so much different than price. You
Yes.
can pay a price for something that's worthless. I'll use today as an example. My wife sent me on, I don't want to call it a wild goose chase, but she sent me a picture of a particular food item that she wanted that they sold at a discount store that she went to. So she said, check these discount stores in your area. I said, okay, I have time to check one. Which one do you remember getting it from? That one, I'm gonna check that one. While in there, I looked around at some of the other sections in the department store that they have. I found a shirt that I didn't necessarily like, but I thought, what, my wife might like this. Is a little different than the shirts I normally buy. So I'm going to buy it, bring it home, see what she says, because they have a return policy. I buy the shirt for $20. I get it home, and in the midst of trying it on in front of her, I noticed the retail tag on this shirt that the original designer wanted to sell it for. And I can say it. It was basically the wealth gap of black to white family. It was 90% more. I paid $20 for it. The retail price of this shirt was $200.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Now, when I felt the material and I tried it on, the value of that shirt was $20, exactly what I paid for.
Right.
It didn't have any value. So now when you look in the mirror, what value do you see?
Right.
Is your value $70,000 a year? So let's divide that by 12. Let me get a calendar. Let's see what they think you're worth a month at. Let's use the median income. The median income is 55,000 in America. $55,000 divided by 12. Are you only worth $4,583 a month?
Break that down even
Is that
further.
okay? Let's divide it. Let's divide it by weeks since there's
50.
52 weeks in a year. $1,000 a week.
Wow.
That's what they're saying your value is worth on average. The median household income is 55,000, and that doesn't have a race attached to it. That's just people. That's what they value you at. But you know your value and your worth is much more than that. The minor dreams that you have. I'm not even talking about the grandiose dreams that one of our business partners and mentors, Mr. Tyrone Best, would tell you that even your largest dream, your biggest dream isn't big enough.
Right.
You got to go way beyond that. But our smallest dreams of, oh, I just want to take my family to Italy one time. This doesn't allow you to do that comfortably, to do that nicely. So you know that that inner heartbeat, that pump is worth more. Your life is worth more. The things you want to do cost more than what you can earn at this job. And then what you earn at this job, and I think this is a great place to segue this in, is these Federal Reserve debt notes. And there's only one thing that these debt notes are good for. One thing. They are portable, they are divisible, they are fungible, but there's only one purpose they have, and that's a medium of exchange. So here you are exchanging your most valuable asset, your time, your life force, your energy for something that has no value except as a medium of exchange. So you're exchanging time for a medium of exchange. See how you keep exchanging, and what value do you get out of it? A roof over your head, shoes on your feet, clothes on your back that all wear out that you have to then buy again. So there is no value in that. Value is something that lasts long time, lasts for generations. So we don't leave our kids and our family back at the same starting point of what? Go get a career. God bless you. That's how I know I'm speaking truth.
Thank you.
For you to have to go, they have to go to school because they can't inherit your degree. They can't inherit your credit. They can't inherit your job. So they have to go right back through the same cycle and get to 25, 30, 35 and say, man, is this what life is about? Besides, I mean, truly, I currently do not have children of my own, but someone that's living that life, that's why the kids become their life. Why? Because they see still the hope. They see the innocence in them. So they live their life vicariously through the children, trying to guide and direct the children. But what most do is they want the children to play it safe. Play it safe. Make sure you make prudent, wise decisions out of fear and not out of, you know what? If I was your age again, if I had the knowledge that if someone gave me the knowledge that I needed at your age, man, the sky would be the limit. But we put our limits on our children because someone else gave us our value. And then when we get that value paid in dollars, we know that these are worthless. We know they are. We can feel it that they have when we hold them. It's like, okay, I'm holding this stack of cash, and do I feel any better? The only time I feel better is when I can take a picture or take a video and show myself to you being happy. But behind the closed doors in my house holding a stack of cash, I'm not happy because this money is supposed to allow me to do something. But because I don't have the time, why? Because tomorrow I got to go back to work. The next day I have to go back to work. I don't have the time to go enjoy. And this is what I hear a lot of older people say. I don't know what I would do if I wasn't working. That's because they see themselves as broke. Without working, they're broke. So they have nothing to do. So I got to come to work to give myself something to do, something to live for. Otherwise, I sit in that rocking chair and die.
Mm.
They don't see limitless. They see limited. Over to you, Mr. Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
Couple now, I'm trying to make it quick because I know it's already late and we don't want to keep you up, family. Two things. Um, Man, I just lost one, so maybe the other one. Let me leave with the other one. They tricked us. In class, they used to put a type of hat on a person and put them in the corner and call them a dunce. But if you really want to know the truth, that was one of the smartest kids in the class because he saw through the garbage, right? And they traded hats. When we graduated, they capped our creativity by putting a flat square over the circle, which was
Mm.
the part of the dunce hat, right? That was that cone shape. That's why Native American teepees, it's a cone, it's a vortex. It allows energy to come in, and that's where the wisdom was funneled through. So when they put that graduation cap, they capped you. They capped your creativity. They capped your limit, your abilities to a certain program. Like you can only go this far because this is your position that is needed in this particular space. So a lot of creative people are trapped in a place they're not even supposed
Mm.
to be because they've capped our creativity because we belong to the corporation of America and they don't want nobody to have creativity. They want everybody to be a cog in their system so they can be free to do what they want to do, but they don't want us to be free to be able to do what we want to do.
Hmm.
My other point, it flew out my spirit, so apparently maybe I wasn't supposed to speak it at this present time, but what I just want to say to the audience, our family, is mm,
That's all right, brother. Take your time.
don't get bamboozled. Like here's what I want to say. You don't know what you don't know.
Hmm.
Listen to
Hmm.
what I'm saying. You don't know what you don't know.
Hmm.
And when you understand that, then you'll know. Take the time and effort to invest in you. No money that you, no amount of currency that you exchange for some type of knowledge and wisdom that can help you is never wasted. It's never a cost. It's always an investment. And there's a difference between something that costs and you investing in something. Every piece of dime, every dime that I've ever spent in any type of business venture, and it didn't produce, I can't say it didn't produce, it may not have produced cash flow, but it produced a knowledge flow and wisdom flow that was to be used at a later date. Because you don't know what you don't know, what you need on your path while you're growing. You don't know what you don't know, so you don't know what you need, but there's something greater on the inside of you that's leading and guiding you and trying to get you to the avenues that you have to take in order for you to truly grow into the person that you're supposed to grow into. But because you think it's supposed to be this cookie cutter way, I'm supposed to go
Hmm.
get a career to make money. Why? Who said you got to go to a career to make money? It's been proven that you don't need a college degree to make money in this country. It's proven. There's plenty of billionaires, millionaires, whatever, to prove to you that you don't need a career to make money. What you need to decide, is it really the career that you truly love? Is that your passion and your purpose and your place? Or is it the money? Because if it's the money, forget the career. Let's go get you the money. It might not be exactly what
Say
you
it.
want, but you go to a job you don't really like. So what's the difference? I'd rather put some time and effort in something that I don't like that's going to free me compared to putting my time and effort into something I don't like that's going to keep me a slave for my life.
Hmm.
But you got to know your value, and when you know your value, then you'll make the right decision. That's it for me. I'm done.
And there's a lot of opportunity right now. We're born in a time where there's so many different ways to make money. In 2017, I think it was 2017, there were over 700,000 millionaires made in that 1 year alone. And so the opportunity is there. There are so many ways to generate income using your own natural talents, abilities, gifts, and skills. And so the question is, are you ready and willing to invest that time in you rather than investing it into someone else's dream? Because that's truly what it is. When you go to work for someone else, you are
And
building out their dream as opposed to building your own. Go on,
let me
Dwayne.
just
Jump on
let me
in.
just cut in no real quick right there, and that includes TV, because somebody creating a TV network was somebody's dream.
Say that.
So when you sitting up there watching that TV,
You investing in
you're
their
help
dream.
building their dream.
Mm. Ooh, that's good. That's good. And then wasting away. You just doing this. Have you ever looked at people who watch
Hmm.
TV? They're just literally doing this, and they're crying. They're laughing, but they're literally comatose, just doing
Yeah.
this. Absolutely productive, not productive in any way. So
Vicariously living their life through the tube.
it's like virtual reality, but
Yeah.
not
No,
really.
don't do that. Oh, I wouldn't have did that. Oh, why she do that? Oh, why?
Right. And then having conversations about it. And I do it too. I'm sure we all have done it. And men with sports, that's a whole nother thing. You watching folks play a game. Hey Dion, good to see you.
And
But
we
look,
are
I'm not gonna go there
enthralled.
because I know y'all
We are
sensitive about your sports.
no, no, we are enthralled in it. My wife, when she first saw me watch a football game, she had to call her brother and say, "Hey, okay, this guy, I think he might be crazy. Like he is yelling at the TV at the top of his
Right.
lungs." And
Right.
he was like, "What he watching? Oh, he watching this football game. Oh, okay, sis, that's normal. That's he."
That's not normal.
It's not. But I mean,
That's
my
not
wife was,
normal.
at the time, we're just dating. We
Right.
were friends, and now we're taking it another level. And she's like, hold up, what is this that I'm looking at? Is that a sign? Because I don't
Mm.
want to move on with this guy, and this guy is Looney Tunes. Like I met his representative. Who is this?
He passed the test. Who was that guy?
Yeah, so is this the real him?
Right.
So when you think about that and the way we live our lives, and I was thinking about, again, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about Juneteenth freedom and your wealth. And I posted something on my Facebook today, and I said that if you are not acquiring assets, you are not building wealth or leaving a legacy.
Mm.
You are simply just being a middleman of your money or a middle woman of your money.
Mm.
Don't want to make this gender related, but we can no longer do that. We can no longer live in the ignorance that they wanted to give to us. When I say they, I'm not talking about a particular race of people, but just the elite, the people that wanted us to be nothing but workers, not thinkers. They didn't want us using our brain. And going back to the analogy that Dwayne used of the graduation cap, is I have a meme on my phone to this day, is a meme of people being sitting at desk, coming into the classroom, top of the head being chopped off and exposing this great big light bulb. Like, oh my God, look at that. That's a bright ideas right there. The next clip is a hammer banging that light bulb. You got to put that out. And the next clip is them putting the cap over to cover up that they chopped off your head, busted all your ideas, but they gave you the graduation cap. So now you can go out into the world as somebody. You
Thinking
are
you better than somebody.
you are accomplished. That degree makes you high.
Right.
You are
Right.
so intelligent.
Right. Mm.
Intelligence is truly, and I gotta find out who quoted this so I can give them their proper respect. Intelligence is measured in the ability to change one's mind when new information is obtained.
Mm.
See, cognitive dissonance, like Dwayne said earlier, before you can become wealthy, before you can walk into your dream, walk into your goal, you got to change your mindset.
Yes.
And that cognitive dissonance comes in because I've believed a certain thing. This is the truth. This is real. And I'm going to take it to your finances. I am not a financial advisor, so I can tell you the truth. I worked on Wall Street. I did that, the Series 763, study finance and marketing in college. So I have all the accolades and all the titles that you would like, for someone with the credentials to be able to speak into your life. So here I am speaking into your life, but without the license, so I can tell you the truth. I'm not bound to tell you the lie because it's the industry standard.
Man, we gotta stop, man.
Who told us the 401k was the retirement plan?
Mm.
Who gave that to us? That now that we have new information that it robs you, it takes away from your wealth, it will leave you broke, busted, and disgusted at the end of your life. We still are married to it. We cannot turn away from it. Literally, 3 months ago, the 401k robbed most Americans of 30 to 40% of their quote unquote retirement. And no one stopped their contribution. They keep giving their money to the thief, thinking that, well, this is the only way.
Mm.
You have seen the evidence that it's not. That's called cognitive dissonance. Because it's like, well, no, but the job they also they match what I put in, and it builds up, and it's going to be there for me. It's not going to be there for you.
Mm.
The 401k was instituted right before the start of 1980, so like 78. It was brought into place, and the creator even says it himself. He said, "I created a monster that the financial system decided to rob." Why? Because they needed more losers in the market. The market is Las Vegas. Vegas was built on losers. People coming out there with their shiny new dollar bills that they printed up, going to the casino to lose. If the majority of people that went to Vegas were winners, Vegas would be bankrupt. They wouldn't be building new hotels every 2 years. They
Mm.
wouldn't be opening up a new casino for you to go lose your money in and comp you your hotel room. They ain't comp you your hotel room. You pay for that 10 times over with what you and the other 10,000 Americans that show up every day lose there. That's the market. They needed more losers, and the best way to get them in was to convince corporate America to go in with them. Wow, the Corporation of America.
Mm.
Wow, Mr. Taylor, Revelation just keeps on, just keeping on.
Mm.
They convinced the Corporation of America, the United States Corporation, to convince the average worker that your best retirement plan was not a pension, not you relying on your intelligence and doing the research and finding out what real money is and how real wealth is built and sustained, like the game of Monopoly would have told you. Stop just passing, going, collecting a paycheck. You got to get some skin in the game, some assets. But what they did was they convinced you to pool your money together, to give it to someone you don't know, some person behind an envelope that they send you every month. They send you an envelope. You don't know the person, place, or entity that's quote unquote investing your money, your retirement that you can't get for 20, 30, 40 years, but they tell you that this is
Mm.
for you. We're doing this for you. No, they needed more losers in the game so that the game could keep going. Well, the game is almost at an end. These US debt notes are coming to their use case, and life history is about done, and it's time for you to be ready to transition to what's next. We have the systems, we know the plans, and we are ready to not just give you the way, but to educate you. You've been schooled, and school robbed you of your true value. We're ready to educate you to put that value back in you. Back to you. Over to you, Mr. Taylor, if you want to close, man. I'm done.
Man, I'll go ahead and close, man. That's why I said we got to stop, man, because we can sit here and bounce back and forth all night, man, because trigger to trigger. So, man, when you said corporate America again, it hit me. The Corporation of America has a governmental body called the United States government. And government means to govern your mind. So the Corporation of America has a governmental system to govern your mind,
Mm.
to make you play the game the way they want you to play.
Mm.
Why do people go to casinos? For one reason, they want to hit it big. Why? So they can be what? I think it
Free.
starts with an F and ends with an E.
Mm-hmm.
So they
Free.
can be what?
Free.
Free. Free from what? The Corporation of America and their governmental system.
Mm.
Wow.
That's what
Mm.
we're trying to
Wow.
speak to y'all about, ladies and gentlemen. We are trying to get you free from this Corporation of America, the proper way you can become a tax-free citizen and not worried about they hound dogs, the IRS beating you up. Because when you understand their language, guess what? You get to partake in the conversation because you know their language. Why do you think they make their language so confusing? And why do you think they make learning so boring? There's a reason learning is boring for most people, because they only want you to learn certain things. So when it is time for you to go express yourself, you feel so dumbed down and hate learning that you won't take the time to go learn for yourself. That's why most people will sit there and play the game. And you said one more thing, Mr. Yarbrough, that sparked something in me. Man, the reason we don't know about assets and legacy is because we don't understand what value is. We've never been taught we don't understand
Mm.
what value truly means in an asset because we were never valuable. How
Mm.
can we expect to see value in gold when we don't even see the value in us and we greater than gold? So how can we understand that gold is valuable? They know it's valuable, but how can we understand that it's valuable when we don't even see ourselves as valuable? So why would we hold something more valuable than the way we see ourselves? We wouldn't. That's why we don't. That's why they showed us what was valuable. Their paper dollars
Yeah.
is what
Exchange for
their
stuff.
exchange notes.
Yeah.
They told us what was valuable was not the real wealth, because the real gold and silver is a reflection of who you are, because they're minerals and your body is the true terra
Man.
firma. So they
Yes.
don't want you to understand your true value. So they gave you a counterfeit value called currency. I close.
Man.
Wow. You just drop a bomb and walk out the room? What's that? Wow. Well, thank you guys so much. And thank you, family, for just hanging in there with us. I know it's a late show tonight, but you know what? It was worth every moment of it. And I think you're right. We've got to get clear on our value. We have to understand that God said the gold is His and the silver is His. And if it's His, it's ours. And so it's for us. I
Well, I
know.
just heard something.
Uh
I just
oh.
heard something.
Say
Mm,
it.
He wasn't talking about the gold and the silver.
mm, mm, mm,
Wow.
mm,
Wow. He's talking about us.
mm.
Wow.
That's mine.
Wow. Okay. So let's just take a breath. Oh my God. So happy Juneteenth. And
Happy
if
June.
tonight
Happy Juneteenth.
is the night you get clear on your value, if tonight is the night that you decide
Yes.
to become free, if
Yes.
tonight is the night that you decide to separate yourself from the governmental mind control of the corporation of America and decide to take ownership of your life, of your time, of your value, of your legacy, then I celebrate with you. We all celebrate with you. I'm excited for where we've been going. We've been, gosh, we're on show. I think this is 212. Well, not 212. Show episode number 212, and the entire journey has been about us trying to help you and all of us just learning more about the money system and how to learn how to pay ourselves first and how to invest in ourselves and to create freedom, wealth, and legacy for our families. And so we are offering you the opportunity to join us as a family. And I'm going to be putting a link in the comments so that you can create your own free wealth building account and you can start saving your own, well, let me say it differently, exchanging your dollars for gold. Exchanging your dollars so that you can start building assets inside of your own household, building family wealth. Guys, did you want to talk about that before we hang?
For
Before we
free.
for free, right?
Free.
For free.
And I do just want to add one little piece in there. That's what this whole financial freedom Friday platform is about opening up the dialogue. Number one, we got to get comfortable talking about wealth, talking about building wealth, and then we have to learn the action steps and the systems to build wealth. Now, we don't have a monopoly on that. You're not looking at someone that's independently wealthy right now, but I have laid the foundation. I have laid the foundation with renewing my mind. I have laid the foundation with understand what are the secrets to building wealth. What is it that wealthy people teach their children so that I can make sure first I teach myself, then so I can become the teacher. I became the student first. I'm the student of wealth creation. And now being a student of wealth creation, it led me to Mr. Taylor. It led me to the systems of asset acquisition. If you're not acquiring assets, you're not building wealth. And yeah, we can open up funnels and faucets of cash flow and have more cash flow than we can spend in a lifetime flowing to us and end up bored with life and just going out and buying stuff. Being someone like Nas's, not Nasir Jones, the rapper, his ex-wife, who was documented as spending almost $10,000 to $20,000 a day. Why? Because she was bored. So all she knew was to go buy more stuff, new bags, new shoes. How much of that stuff do you have to get before you realize that you're still empty? You have to acquire something of value, something that lasts, something that's precious, that you can pass down to your kids and your kids' kids to leave a legacy.
Yes.
So that when this season comes up, election season, we're not being pandered to, but we're sitting at the table saying, this is our platform. These are our demands. Who can meet them regardless of what color shirt you wear under your suit, whether it's red or blue? I want somebody to meet these demands for my community and my neighborhoods. Not always having to move out the neighborhood, but being able to, man, get assets, get with these systems. Don't look at the messenger, look at the message and understand that the message is true. And if the messenger is speaking facts, then you apply it to your life. Back to you, Ms. Brown. Thank you again for tonight. Thank you for the platform. Thank you for extending the time for us tonight to be on here past 11 o'clock. We know you got to get back to Mommyville. Over to you.
Say it. Because Mommyville don't sleep. You don't understand. All right. So, family, we thank you so much for joining us. Happy Juneteenth. Happy Freedom Day. And this is a new version of freedom that we're walking in. 2020 is a new perspective on freedom. And so we thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you all next week. God bless you. Be safe. And we love you.